I wouldn't get a splinter removed south of the border. Mexican kids that had died, and they put them in it was years ago. There was a situation. He was rumored to have been involved with that situation.
Do you think it affected the genre at all?
It'd have set us back if I'd have put it in ours. But, so they didn't want to come up here.
Yeah.
I mean, we had the most talked about UFO hearing in the world.
UAP hearings in Mexico.
Our one guy that was down there that was in ours, he went down there and he was legit. And they brought these bodies forth, and I don't know anything about them other than what I've read and what I've heard. If they could get them up, noted ufologists have studied them, noted Mexican doctors, that's Mexican. It's not exactly the place I'd go for any procedures. I wouldn't get a splinter removed south of the border, and bring them up here. Let's take them to one of our research places and let our top research places if they're serious about it. This is the same guy who was rumored to have been involved in a former thing where they had some mummies and they turned out they were just a bunch of, I think it was little Mexican kids that had died. And they put them in it was years ago. There was a situation. He was rumored to have been involved with that situation. Bringing forth something like that was just kind of.
This is the same guy that put this on as the same guy that was.
Yeah, allegedly.
What's the point of it then? Why would they have this?
Well, they come out now and said they're the first government to say there's UFOs. I just think. Again, something they got took. I just don't think the Americans went down there with an open mind, and I think they left disgusted with it.
That's what I gathered.
And the people that I know that are in the serious people in this country, they didn't want to say anything because they don't want to, but they've all confided in me that they thought it was pretty much of a hoax.
Just a publicity stunt or something?
Well, and the guy got in there, and now he's rich. He'll travel the country. He'll be writing books about it, and he'll display them at the carnival or something. And
yeah,
I'm sure there's money attached to it. There always is.
Do you think that set us back? Do you think it affected the genre at all?
It'd have set us back if I'd have put it in ours. But so they didn't want to come up here.
Yeah.
I mean, we had the most talked about UFO hearing in the world. I mean, bar none.
Yeah.
International. We had people covering it from all over the world. And I was literally having to turn down interviews just because there was just not enough time. Had to be places and blogs and podcasts, or what podcasts I guess you call them, and never heard from these guys once.
Interesting. What do you know about other countries and their, not just Mexico, but
Canada is big involved. Over in Europe's huge. England has. They've had departments that have studied this, and people have come forward with information. So I think it's and you've got Soviet Union collapses and things. We lose things. You've got the Italians claim that there was a deal, and it's been written about, and I haven't had time to chase it really. Some deal with the Vatican. And that they recovered, they sponsored an archaeological type thing, and they recovered something. Of course, you got the Nazis, of course, in the Second World War. I don't put a lot of faith in that. I think they had a lot of technology going on. They had Werner von Braun and the V2, but they never could perfect a lot of their stuff. They were going 100 different directions. And they didn't learn how to mass produce stuff like you could take a M1 carbine, you could take the slide off of it, one made by Inland Marine, and put it on one made by Winchester. They couldn't do that. The Germans couldn't do that, and we mastered that. Mass production, similar, something works, stick to it, it's cheap, it works, produces, let's go. And they would have, they're intricate and very precise with their things, and that's interesting. That's, oddly enough, that's how they got a lot of their war criminals, because they kept such incredible records of the horrible things they were doing to those poor folks that they They hung them. They hung those bastards after the war because they found a lot of information. But I think there's there's been some pretty well documented cases all over the world.
Yeah, I mean, George Knapp reports that Russia has had at least 45 UAP encounters. Former British defense official Nick Pope says that they are aware of UAP programs in both China and Russia. Scott Bray, acting director of Naval Intelligence, reports there are no signs of extraterrestrial involvement. I mean, it's just everybody's all over the board here. Do you have any information previous to China and Russia's UAP programs?
A little. Their land mass is so large that they have and they keep things so secret. So when it comes out, it's usually very old, and it's been chewed on so much you don't really know what part of it's the truth or not. So I don't get too hung up on all that stuff.
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.